If you see this, do not approach it. There are certain things you should never do if you encounter a snake in the wild. And if you don't know what they are, you could get badly injured or even killed. Never try to touch a snake unless you have been trained. There are many reasons why you shouldn't touch a snake, even if it looks like it's not venomous. First of all, some snakes, such as the hognose snake, will fake their own death if they feel threatened. If you pick one up, you could end up getting bitten when it goes for its final strike. Even venomous snakes won't bite if you keep your fingers far enough away from their fangs. The only time you should try to touch a snake is if you are trying to move it out of the way to avoid an altercation. However, even if you must touch a snake, you should never try to pick it up by the tail. Not only does this put you in a bad position to get bitten, but it can also cause the snake to panic and lash out at you. The best way to pick up a snake is to support its entire body with your hands. If you need to move a snake out of the way, the best thing to do is make a hook with your finger and lift it by the tip of its snout. Make sure to keep your fingers close together so that you don't accidentally poke yourself in the eye. Number 2, never run away from a snake. Snakes can be very fast, and they can easily overpower you if you try to run away from them. Also, if you fall down while running, you'll be putting yourself in a vulnerable position. Therefore, if you see a snake, back away slowly from it, keeping your eyes on the snake at all times. If the snake lunges at you, then you should try to distract it by throwing small rocks nearby. If it doesn't work, then you should try to hit it with a stick. No. 3. Never jump into water if a snake is after you. Jumping into a body of water may seem like the obvious thing to do if you are being chased by a snake, but it could be the worst thing you do. In a desperate situation, snakes are able to sense danger through vibrations, so the splashing you make when jumping into water could alert it to the fact that you're still there. It might wait for you to resurface and take a big gulp of air, and then it will strike. Instead, if you are being chased by a snake, you should try to stay as still as possible until it passes. The longer you stay still, the less likely it is that the snake will detect you and the faster it will move on. No. 4. Never let a snake get between you and your dog. Many people think that dogs can sense when a snake is around, and they will bark and growl to let you know, but that's not always the case. Some dogs are scared of snakes, and if a snake gets between you and your dog, it could attack your pet, and then you would have to deal with a very angry snake. Therefore, if you see a snake, put your dog on a leash immediately. And if a snake attacks your dog, kick it away with a soccer kick or stomp on it. You should also never allow a snake to crawl over your dog. If a snake does manage to get into your dog's den, it could be fatal for both your dog and you. No. 5. Never turn your back on a snake. If you do this, you could be bitten without even noticing it. For example, there was a man who was hiking in Arizona when he saw a rattlesnake coiled up ahead of him on the trail. He tried to walk past it, but the snake struck him and bit him on the back. The man had to crawl on his hands and knees for about half a mile before he could get to his car and drive to the hospital. Instead, if you find yourself in this situation, you should try to stay calm and move away from the snake slowly. Don't turn your back on it because you could get bitten without even realizing it. Instead, you should try to keep the snake in your sight at all times. Now you know what not to do if you see a snake. But do you know what to do? If you want to find out what you should do if you come across a snake, stay tuned for more information.